Hi, welcome to Crisco's Corner. Proud to live in the greatest country in the world. Unfiltered opinions, no PC discussion here. Agree, disagree, hate it, love it, it's all good. Sit back and enjoy some unfiltered commentary. We discuss politics, culture, interviews, and more. Your comments are always welcome. Please help the channel by hitting that subscribe button. Doesn't cost a thing. And as always, thanks for your support. Hi, folks. Welcome back to Crisco's Corner, thecollegefix.com. This is a great website if you're a conservative. President Trump authorizes emergency learning scholarships for students denied in-person school. Expanding options for poor and special needs kids. Wait a minute. Trump's a dictator. Trump hates Mexicans. Trump hates brown people. Trump hates black people. Trump hates poor people. Trump hates, fill in the blank. Trump hates this. Trump hates. You know what? Shut the F up. The election's over. You can stop lying. Trump doesn't hate all those people. Never really has. Interesting article. Let's read on. Since teacher unions have largely decided that their comfort is more important than the education of marginalized children, the Trump administration is designed to work around. Isn't that interesting? The Department of Health and Human Services is loosening the rules around community services block grants so these funds can be used for emergency learning scholarships. President Trump issued an executive order Monday on expanding educational opportunity through school choice, something that the progressives and the Democrats, I'll give the regular Democrats a shot on this one too, they are against it. Once minorities, especially low-income minorities, get proper educations at large percentages and move out of those areas that they're in, low-income areas, and especially in the big cities, they stop voting Democrat. What the hell do they want to do that for? No, it's the truth. I'm sorry, it is. They've been taking advantage of non-white voters for decades. I'm 64. I used to be a local elected official. I know. I was a Democrat until 2013. That's the way they operate. Without the black and Hispanic vote, the Democratic Party would be in ashes. Well, it's going to be anyway in a couple of years by their own hand, suicide. But without them, so they need to keep them down in order to control them and put fear in them. And that's the way the game works. Let's read on. President Trump issued executive order on Monday expanding educational opportunity through school choice for children whose school refused to reopen under the pretext of the COVID-19. Everything they want to do is about COVID-19. The scholarships can be used for tuition and fees for private and parochial schools, homeschool, microschool, or learning pod costs, special education, and related services such as therapies and tutoring or remedial education. The order says more than half of all public school students started school remotely this fall. These students are much likely to come from financially precarious families who cannot afford the options available to their well-off counterparts, including the schooling formats provided for under the new scholarships. The hardest hit children are those with special needs. Schools provide not only academic support for students with special needs, but they also provide much-needed in-person therapies and services, including physical and occupation therapies. A recent survey found that 80% of children with special needs are not receiving the services and supports to which they are entitled, and that approximately 40% of children with special needs are receiving no services or supports. Virtual learning is a particularly bad option for these special needs students, even when they have access to it. Yet it's also a poor substitute for in-person learning for other children, the order explains. Yeah, there's a lot of social things that go on in school. Teaches you how to socialize. Teaches you how to put up against bullies and how to, influence people. And if there's a cute girl in your class and you're a boy, how to talk to her. There's a lot of things you can learn when you're a kid in school. That's why HHS is going beyond its recent decision to allow federal child care funding to subsidize child care services and services to supplement academic instruction for children under the age of 13 who are participating in virtual instruction. School districts and student unions that insist virtual instruction is adequate should look at the harm it's causing the most needy students. Yeah, it's adequate because they're getting paid and they're sitting at their asses at home or in an office somewhere by themselves or one or two people in it. It's so ridiculous. It is so ridiculous. Everything is COVID. We have to send out tens of millions of unsolicited ballots because of COVID. We can't have people vote in person because of COVID. We can't have open up schools because of COVID, even though, in fact, school-age children is such a tiny percent that even have COVID that it's not even worth mentioning. Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a handful, so don't get all over my case about some 5-year-old dying. I'm sure it happened, and I feel sad about that. But you're causing irreparable harm to even the kids that aren't marginalized or special needs. A lot of these kids' homes aren't worth the crap. Between parent or the boyfriend of the month that's in the house, God knows what really happens. And I'm going to say boyfriend of the month, and I don't care who doesn't like it because it's the truth. In low-income zip codes, students' math progress decreased by nearly 50%, while school buildings were closed in the spring, and the math progress of students in middle-income zip codes fell by almost a third during the same period. A recent analysis projected that if in-person classes did not fully resume until January 2021, Hispanic, Black, and low-income students will lose 9.2, 10.3, and 12.4 months of learning, respectively. You notice the 12.4 is on the Hispanics, which usually would mean the Southwest and the bigger cities, especially California. What are these people going to learn? Stop voting for Democrats. Stop. There was some decent Democrats for a long time, and I was one of them. But the moderate Democrats, the Democrats that really care, are either pretending to be progressives and then doing what they want just to keep their jobs or keep getting reelected, or they've been thrown out of the party. Guys, stop. Stop voting for Democrats. Even if you're a hardcore Dem, and you believe in a lot of the things that even the nonsense they're spewing now, what they pulled this year, what they pulled with this COVID stuff, the draconian lockdowns, where the vast majority are Democrat progressives, governors, mayors, the crap they pulled like this, like the teachers union, who's so powerful, that all these progressives are screaming racism, 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 and here we are, Donald Trump is supposed to be the biggest racist in the country, is trying to help them. It's so twisted, it's unbelievable. I mean, what's the term in 1984? Doublespeak? Stop with the bullshit. I'm sorry to swear, but it's true. Stop with the bullshit. The election's over. You morons won. You cheated and you got away with it. Don't be a poor winner. That's worse than a poor loser is a poor winner. You guys managed to pull it off. You got rid of the orange monster. Okay, shut the F up. Open up the country. Let's go back. You got what you wanted. How does it taste? Many parents of such children also don't have the flexibility of their stay-home teleworking counterparts. They have to go to work in the real world and leave their children unsupervised during their virtual learning. Under these conditions, it's not surprising that reports of child maltreatment have plummeted. Well, of course, you don't see the kids every day in school. Teachers and support staff aren't interacting in the same physical space as children, meaning they miss signs of abuse. The executive order also notes the students' absences have nearly doubled this year, again showing the woeful insufficiency of virtual learning. According to Politico, which I hate, the HSS program to be used for scholarship funding distributes $700 million a year. I love this one, the one below it. Chicago Teachers Union ignores Catholic school evidence of safe reopening. These teachers unions are out of control. Out of control. Remember, Trump's a racist. He's a monster. He wants all Mexicans thrown out of the country, all Hispanic people thrown out. He wants all blacks rounded up and put in concentration camps. I had people come in my store and tell me this stuff. And few weeks after Trump got elected in 2016, there's a really big guy who's come in my store, African-American gentleman, and he's ultra progressive, but we used to get along even though we argued a lot. I said, hey, how come you're still here? He goes, what? I was going to round up all you black people and put you in vans like you said Trump was going to. And he's put his head down and he didn't say anything. I said, because they believe the stupidity. These people are crazy. They've been spoon-fed this stuff since they were 3 years old. It's amazing to me. It's amazing to me. The lowest black and Hispanic unemployment in the history of the country before COVID. And of, what was it, the 3.2 million jobs or something like that created, over 70% were women. My God, he's a misogynist. He hates non-white people. If he's a racist, just look at this one little article here. Of course, you don't hear about it. If he's a racist, he's the worst racist that ever lived. Until next time, folks. Goodbye and good luck.